I'm Dale Hurd in the CBN Newsroom. You know, a major unreported story of our times is the growing dislike of the United States around the world, especially among elites in the media. We interviewed Andrei Markovits, author of an important new book entitled Uncouth Nation: Why Europe Dislikes America. Andrei begins the interview by retelling an example of anti-American prejudice that was written about in a European newspaper.
Imagine that London dinner party where people would go around and talk about we really hate the Chinese, and they have, no culture, and they're crude, and they are this, and they have slitty eyes, and et cetera, et cetera. The likelihood of you being invited back to that dinner party is nil. Yet, no one thinks for 1 second at the equivalent London dinner party of constantly talk about Americans as fat, uncultured, idiotic, dumb. Why? And that is what I'm talking about in terms of, that's what I'm trying to get at. The book is not only not so much what America does, but what America is. There is a real disdain for what America and Americans are rather than what they do. To the anti-American European, America is something inauthentic. This is crucial. It doesn't have tradition. It doesn't have values. It doesn't have depth. It doesn't have roots. By the way, this goes back way into the 19th century, that America is this fleeting, superficial, commercial glitter, and hence the title of my book, Uncouth Nation. America is seen by both the left and the right as this kind of Vegas. Obviously, Europeans' dislike of America is heightened by what they read about Abu Ghraib, or what they see about Guantanamo, or what they see about, the various secret CIA prisons in their countries. No question, this riles them. But it's not only saying, I really think that what the CIA prisons are appalling, but it immediately is also anchored into what else do you expect? Okay, it's not an issue of an American policy with which you can agree or disagree and you can completely criticize and dismiss. That to me is not American, anti-American. But when in fact that policy is linked to a certain kind of characterological trait, that it is in fact inherent, that is the essence of Americans, okay? Abu Ghraib is the essence of Americans, then that, to me, is anti-Americanism. And certainly 9/11 was also the New York Yankees losing. And by the way, there again you see a very big, wonderful differential between there. The European publics were appalled, and they were very much on America's side, whereas many of its intellectuals were not. They had it coming to them. They deserved it. It was the New York Yankees getting it in the neck, and by golly, it was just as well. And there was some very ugly stuff there. New York's skylines now have 2 fewer, phallic symbols. I mean, just very bad stuff by very, very eminent European intellectuals. I was just at a talk here about my book in Washington, where a very eminent journalist of a German newspaper, I don't want to mention the name, basically said that, my guys back at my headquarters just really want bad stuff. I mean, that's what, really, sells. This is what they would like to print, and this is what's actually now, because it becomes a vicious circle. In other words, people think this, and then, we got to feed this. Europeans sometimes carry on as if they were Nicaraguan peasants or Bangladeshi, workers for Nike. They're not. But these are very, very wealthy and rich societies, and they are very much the winners of this globalization. These guys have not had any detriment to their life because of America. If anything, they've only had something very positive by having been part of the American umbrella. And that's what's, to me, quite worrisome and really a form of anti-Americanism.